Collars, necklines, fronts, sleeve vents, hems, chains, pockets, closures and trim. To begin, collars. Both the Amelia and Joan include a simple stand collar. This collar is designed to sit slightly lower on the neckline as shown, but I always suggest when cutting your jacket to leave an extra inch or two of fabric above the seam line for additional placement options. Before attaching your collar, run a line of machine stitching along the neckline as shown. As I included an underlining with this jacket due to its open weave, I will sew my stay stitch directly onto this. A stay stitch will stop your fabric from stretching out, as this is an area of stress and should be added to your jacket regardless of whether you are adding a collar. The patterns include an upper collar and under collar as shown. Here I suggest making your under collar slightly smaller for turn of cloth. A boucle is bulky, and so I remove 1 millimeter or 2 all around as shown in green. This enables us to turn our seam line to the underside of the collar to hide the seam for a clean and neat finish. Trim the upper seam and both sides. As my boucle is light and has drape, I have used a lightweight fusible on both sides, but if you prefer to interface one side, I would suggest adding this to the under collar only. Trim your seam allowance and corners before turning your collar to the right side. Your undercollar will be sewn by machine to the bodice of your jacket using your quilt line stitch length. Your upper collar seam allowance will be layered flat on the inside, and your silk quilting will cover this seam. A stitch in the ditch is not necessary. Necklines and fronts. Before closing, run a line of machine stitching along the neckline as shown. As I included an underlining with this jacket due to its open weave, I will sew my stay stitch directly onto this. A stay stitch will stop your fabric from stretching out, as this is an area of stress and should be added to your jacket regardless of whether you are adding a collar. Trim your silk lining until it fits to your quilt line using the same method as your quilted seams. Again, leaving as much as you can for future adjustments and alterations. Pin well, distributing the lining until it lays smoothly with no pulling. Using a single thread, fell stitch along the neckline and fronts. A fusible can be added to the fronts of the jacket, especially if you used an underlining that adds stability but not structure. I'm often asked why I use a softer fabric for an underlining and not an organza. I do like to keep the integrity of the fabric. An organza will create structure, changing the hang and creating an almost tailored version instead. In this instance, we can add fusible where needed. A Frenchie at its core is a simple cardigan. Sleeve vents. We designed a quick and simple vent to keep bulk down. Snip your vent extension at an angle as shown here, folding the upper piece down before folding the sides in. Pin well. Once the sleeve is turned right side out, the extension can be pulled through and laid over the seam. The upper piece is hand sewn to the jacket to secure the vent in place. And again, while fusible is always a personal preference, I do like to add it here to support trim and buttons, as well as to create a crisp and clean edge. A quick running stitch will hold this in place until we fill stitch the lining section. The lining should be folded close to the edge and will come down at an angle to accommodate the extension placket. Fell stitch using a single thread. Hems. I like to do something a little different with my Frenchies and include a beautiful but subtle curve in the back. The addition of length at the centre back helps weigh down the jacket and when sitting provides full coverage. I set my hem at the centre fronts first. There's no standard length. I always tell my students that this is their jacket to love, so your hem should make you happy and only you. You are aiming for the centre back to be an inch or so longer than the centre front. And again, I have added a strip of lightweight interfacing to the hem before closing, as the weight of the chain will pull the drapier boucle down and over time distort it. On a thicker, heavier fabric, I would suggest using small interfacing strips and sandwiching them between the seams to cut down on bulk. Pockets. Fabric, length of the jacket and wearability will dictate your pocket choice. To begin, rather than making the boucle pockets, use your muslin to create templates. They are visually easy to see, set and mark with a pattern match. If you are pattern matching, use the same method as your sleeve. Thread trace your pockets to your boucle and interface each pocket. This helps create a smooth, strong and well-shaped finish. If you have a pattern matched, label each piece as the templates are removed. To cut down on bulk, trim your pocket seam allowance to a ½ inch or so rounding the corners and an inch at the top. Fold and pin the allowances over towards the wrong side, manipulating the fabric. Hold the seams in place with a running stitch. Cut your lining using your muslin template again. This will be sewn using a fell stitch. Place your pockets on your jacket and sew using tiny fell stitches and a beeswaxed double thread. Trim. Trim has become a holy grail over the last decade with our Frenchy jackets. It's been so hard to find and almost impossible to match. Every boucle is woven differently. My grey and white boucle is woven with multiple unique strands, and each pulls out cleanly. The black has a more fused finish, so a black wool worked perfectly as the strands were almost impossible to remove. My multi-pink jacket was a little more difficult to strip, as this one took some patience because the threads only pulled in one direction. I often use skeins of wool to really help create a colour contrast, and then I experiment with multiple braids. A shorter jacket will need a thinner trim, and a longer, more solid colour can take a thicker, bigger statement trim. Using your boucle to create a trim really elevates your jacket to full couture. And while it takes time, it's so worth it. And honestly, it's fun. Chain. Now our pockets and trim are on, it's time for the chain. Chain should be lightweight and delicate, as the average hem length is usually between a yard and a yard and a half. Even a light chain can weigh a jacket down. We want to add enough weight to create a slight pull, but not enough that it will stretch your fabric out. My favourite is a 5mm twisted link as shown here. Measure your chain by laying it along the length of your hem on the lining, adding an inch at the beginning and at the end to account for the curve of the hem. Snip with wire cutters. There will be a few links left over at the end that will need to be cut, but you will find that you will need a little more than your first measurement, so add it now. Using a number 9 needle and a double beeswax thread, run your needle through the links on the upper and the lower chain. You'll find that your smaller needle will catch every 2 links or so, securing your chain while leaving flexibility. Add multiple stitches on the first and last links to add a strength and support, as this is a stress area when putting on and taking off your jacket. Closures. Hooks and eyes are often used in French jackets as they provide an invisible closure, maintain a clean finish, and don't distort the delicate nature of the boucle. Buttonholes and zippers are also great options, and I'll add separate videos for these techniques. Always place your first hook at the apex to avoid gaping before evenly placing the remainder of your hooks. Snaps are also a fabulous option, as you can see here from a previous jacket I made. I've added them to the trim, and while the 2 fronts do have to overlap to close in a lighter fabric, this works really well. Congratulations on finishing your jacket. And as always, if you have a question, leave it below. Happy sewing!